The fourth day of FIA Connect has been all about stepping forth into a new world as the event focused on the urban or even broader regional and personal air mobility. Now, we know from the Global Urban Air Summit that was held at Farnborough last year that there are literally hundreds of programs underway, from flying cars to air taxis, regional airliners to flying vans. This week alone, we've seen the first firm moves in the UK with Bihar, the bioelectric hybrid aircraft from Farad Air, which will be built at Duxford and carry 17 passengers or freight 1,000 miles when it enters service in 2024. This was followed by the Electric Aviation Group, EAG, which unveiled a design for its hybrid electric regional aircraft that aims at carrying 70 passengers around 800 miles. And at Farnborough Connect today, we have the second GUAS showcase, involving speakers from organisations like Boeing, Uber, the FAA, Lilium, EHang, Vertical, and even NASA. Well, I asked Boeing's Steve Nordland, he's the Vice President and General Manager of Boeing Next, whether there had been an effect on urban air mobility because of COVID-19.
It's going to be interesting to look back at, how behavior has changed, how the increase in cargo delivery that's occurring during this pandemic, the more use of online shopping and delivery of goods to people's personal locations, and does that provide an opportunity? When you also think about if it were, in some cases relevant to this pandemic, but other pandemics where there would be a real urgent need to get healthcare and medicines to people in a very safe way in very remote areas during natural disasters. I think all of that is going to emerge also as potential opportunity for aviation to come in a way that adds a whole new dimension to how aviation has been used in the past.
And looking to the future of urban air mobility, Eric Allison, the head of Uber Elevate, was joined by the former head of Rolls-Royce America and the FAA, Marion Blakey, for a fascinating discussion. And Allison explained why he believes that the future is all electric.
As we've done more analysis on this and really dug into it further, we've come to the conclusion, pretty strong conclusion, that all electric is actually the way to go right out of the gate. The reason for this is that there's actually interesting ripple effects and consequences of what you choose in terms of a power plant. And one example that I like to point to is infrastructure. So this is a big coupled problem. It's effectively designing a system of systems that the service is the product is the service. It's not the airplane itself. And so we have to think about the implications on infrastructure siting, infrastructure permitting, the cost of building out infrastructure, and how that affects the unit economics of the overall service, for every trip. And we see that going all electric actually has a number of benefits outside of just the aircraft side on the infrastructure side. We don't have to have liquid fuel on top of potential sites for infrastructure. You don't have to have any concerns about getting fuel to a refueling point, for example, in terms of many of the places that would be very have high utilization and high utility of siting infrastructure. Just some of the examples of the benefits that come from that.
And with all that comes autonomy. In a panel involving regulators, operators and manufacturers, Charlie Alcock asked whether autonomy is a given or will pilots get a hands-on? Well, Honeywell's Zasu was clear where he stood.
At Honeywell, we have a vision that the future of air cargo will be completely autonomous from warehouse to your house. And urban and regional air travel will be ubiquitous and accessible with electrified and highly autonomous aircraft. And that's why we're building integrated propulsion and avionics systems for UAM and UAS to make that future a reality. And to your point, we believe this future very much needs autonomy, right? We need to eliminate the preventable operator errors and improve aviation safety. We have to, as previously said, improve the unit economics of UAM because now we're carrying fewer people with the same pilot. And we have to enable new services like drone parcel delivery or fulfillment center connectors where we can't physically fit the pilot on the aircraft.
Florian Michael Adolf from Volocopter also weighed in, saying that they will be using pilots at the first stages of introduction to service for their air taxis, but that they would take the pilot out of the equation as soon as it was possible to do so safely. So as Farnborough Friday begins tomorrow, I guess that wannabe pilots are going to be a little bit disappointed. But listen, there will be plenty more opportunities for sure. You can even find out how to become an astronaut. Well, of all of the Farnborough Connect event, it's free of charge. You simply have to register and watch. You can also catch up on any sessions that you might have missed during the week, and I tell you, there's been some really powerful insights and data being shared. And if, like me, you're in awe of those people who make it against the odds, then we'll be getting inspiration by the bucket load tomorrow. We've got inspirational women in aviation, we have black and minority ethnic engineers telling their stories, and we have plenty of tips on great careers in this brilliant industry of ours. I'm going to sit back in my armchair and watch it. Why don't you join me? We'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.